What you do makes a difference. I think we don't realize it at the time. We don't know where it's going to go in the future, but what you do makes a difference. I often look at these lights up on the side of our building, the black ones up there on each side. You can see their spots. They're adjustable so that they shine down. 25 years ago, we had a talk show here at the church called Crosstalk with Eric Denton. And we had guests, and all those spots would be set up and according to the sound stage and according to where the guests were going to be. And we had tattoos up here, and we had piercings, and we had, you name it, we covered it. We even covered Ghost one time. I mean, we covered all kinds of weird things in that talk show. But we never imagined that we would need these lights again, which we use every Sunday, so that we could have production quality video through Facebook that would go live around the world because of a pandemic. Now what we do, when we come here, I no longer preach even up behind a pulpit. I preach on a little X. That little blue X is where I stand, so that Marty, when Marty's back here, and Ken and Marty have been working out, they've got all their X's set up, and they've got X's set up for where the tripod goes. And this week we're going to try Ken's phone instead of Marty's phone to see how the video quality comes out. Comment on it, see if you can tell a difference. This is where the soundboard goes, so the X's are there. We know exactly where everything's supposed to go, so we don't have to reset it. We even moved up the communion table, and we've got marks there so that in case it's not centered and someone says, and believe it or not, people say this to us, that wasn't centered, or this wasn't this where I didn't like that. We can say, oh, well, this is the way it is. We can just move it, and it's not a problem for us. But it's suddenly thinking about all of these big production issues that we never considered before. We've thought about we own floodlights. We own these great big floods that we could put up, like these ones that we could put up in the back on each side, and we just operate them for an hour each week because it's just during the service. But yesterday we tried everything out. We had a light technician here, Tony, thank you for being here, and come in and looking at all this and engineering it out. And you know what, to be honest with you, we even tried with one of those halo lights like they had on American Idol. I was so caught up with those on American Idol. And even with that, what we're doing with these spots on each side that Rod Learned put up so many years ago, I haven't seen Rod. Debbie and I went back to Pennsylvania where they were living at the time. I assume they're still living there. Small town, I don't remember, in Pennsylvania. They'd moved to from California. And we spent a couple days with them just for a time of rest and recreation and refreshment. And it was wonderful. Great friends. They took us out to dinner. We enjoyed ourselves just to be together again, Rod and Janice. Their kids would be graduated from college and now be their own professionals, be all of that kind of stuff. But we went through some times together, exciting, heartbreaking, joyous, grieving, all of those kind of times that you go through. And I think of, as we've done this, Rod had no idea when he put those up there that we would need them now. So Rod, if you ever watch my Motivated in 2 Minutes, thank you so much. I love you. And we talked about you yesterday. As Marty looked up and said, can you imagine that Rod put those up all those years ago? And we're still using them. And they're still the best lighting that we can come up with. At the end of the evening, sometimes Rod would be in here working, pulling wires or putting those up. He was also an engineer, and like technical engineer, he did drawings, architect, something like that. Anyway, he would come in, and he was no longer a rock star, rock band guy. And even though he'd been with Berlin, you know the band Berlin, You Take My Breath Away. And you can go on YouTube and you can look at their reunion of Berlin, and you can see Rod in it and stuff. He's a cool guy. But Rod would come over to the drums in the sanctuary, and I would find Rod on the drums, just playing unto the Lord all by himself. And it was so cool. He didn't play in church. He didn't play in the band. But when he had the sanctuary all to himself, he would play as if playing unto the Lord and just be in the midst of it all. And I thought about what he did 25 years ago or more, how it's still reaching out and touching people. What you're doing today makes a difference. It makes a difference today, even when it feels like it doesn't, and it makes a difference in the future. Don't quit. This pandemic's enough to make you want to throw in the towel. Don't give up. Push yourself just a little bit harder. I heard just this morning that the governor's not going to, and I don't know if this is true, I'm hoping it's wrong, that the governor's not going to allow churches to meet until September. I'm so hoping he's wrong. I miss all of you so much. I just miss hugging people. I miss being together, but even more, I pray that the virus is gone. I pray that there's genuine healing in our land, and I pray that we have the opportunity to meet in groups together and fellowship together again. Because I know it's not just our faith community here at Central Community. I mean, it's every faith community in all of California, and the heartbreak that goes with missing each other and loving each other and wanting to be back together and be in communion together again. We can continue to pray and know that that which we've already done, just like that which Rod did so long ago, has made a difference, and it's going to continue to make a difference. And that which you've already done cannot be undone. No one can undo it. It can only be added to. And that's how we step away from ever having been mediocre into being the miracle. So I want to thank so much to Pastor Ken and Marty and Joshua and Evertoni and everyone who's been a part of making sure that we have a Facebook Live stream every Sunday. And to those of you who've watched the hundreds and hundreds of views that we're getting each week, thank you so much. Share them with your friends. It's going to be a great message this week. It's going to be talking about pushing out of where we're at today. I want you to be a part about it. We're talking from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I believe we can. God bless you. Who you are and what you're doing today makes a difference. God bless you. Be the miracle.